Hello everybody, it's Preston here, also known as Godzilla Hawk. Again, I'm sorry guys. Yes, I am happy about NXT today, which I'm going to be reviewing. But at the same time, I was actually scheduled to do a video with somebody on their certain channel. Long story short, they forgot, and now I'm decided to do it alone. Not going to mention any names. I'm going to try to keep calm. I'm going to just try to get through this, try to be happy, because this was a good show. Not trashing the show, it was a good show. But when people promise to do something for you and they have constantly broke their promise every single time, it's frustrating. So I'm going to review NXT. I'm not even going to mention the person's name. I'm not going to even mention that person. You can obviously watch that person's on video on his channel. You probably know who I'm talking about. He already did the review. I'm doing the review right now. So I'm just going to get this video dealt with, because I actually do want to review this, whether it's by myself. Honestly, I would prefer Brandon, but he has work. So that's why I try to find other people, but they were either busy, or they didn't have a Skype, or they forgot. So let's start off with the first match. It was Hideo Itami, or Kenta, defeating Tyler Breeze in the opener. It wasn't anything special. It was an okay match. These guys worked pretty decently together. I honestly thought Tyler Breeze was going to win, because of his new kind of role, his new kind of like aggressive streak going on. But he didn't. Kenta ended up winning. I would prefer if he had Tyler Breeze win, just due to the fact that Tyler Breeze has been losing a lot. And if you want to make him go up to that NXT championship reign or head up back to the title picture, you gotta build this guy up. Like I said, I respect both competitors. Like I said, they did a decent job, and Kenta ended up winning. Like I said, there wasn't really anything memorable in this match. It was a decent opener. It wasn't like the greatest thing ever, but it was decent. Next was Baron Corbin versus Bull Dempsey in a no disqualification match. I think this match was like 4 minutes. Honestly, this one was kind of a disappointment. I'm not gonna lie. Baron Corbin won. I honestly thought Bull Dempsey was going to win, because he's been losing so much to Baron Corbin. But at the same time, it makes sense for Baron to win, because Bull Dempsey cost him his first match. His first loss, I should say. Honestly, it didn't really feel like no disqualification. It just felt like a brawl. Baron Corbin ended up winning. Like I said, I was kind of looking forward to this, but at the same time, it wasn't. This match wasn't just not good. Some people are going to disagree and say this match was actually good, but in my eyes, it was nothing special. I've seen way better no disqualification matches. In my eyes, this was really short. It was kind of boring. There wasn't really any spots. Probably the only spot I saw was probably the Baron Corbin finish. We left up Bull Dempsey, and there was the headbutt by Bull, and almost won, and Baron kicked out. Those were probably the only spots. I mean, really, there wasn't really anything special. Oh, there was a botch in there. Baron Corbin tried to close on Bull Dempsey, but Bull Dempsey took way too long to get over the rope, so Baron Corbin actually ended up getting over the rope down the floor, and then Bull Dempsey, like 2 seconds later, finally got outside, and the fans were booing. They were chanting, "You fucked up," and so on and so forth. So it wasn't anything special. Next was Buddy Murphy and Wesley Blake defeating the Lucha Dragons for the tag team titles. Oh, excuse me again. At the start, there was already a botch. I'm trying to remember what the botch was. I remember they did botch. Oh yeah, that's right. They botched a Hurricanrana. I think they were trying to do a Hurricanrana in the beginning of the match, and they botched it. But besides a few botches, it actually started picking up. I would say the last like 3 or 4 minutes of the match. It wasn't the longest match, but it had decent. But these guys still worked really well together. I appreciate it for both tag teams. This is what WWE is trying to do at the moment, but it's not really succeeding. They need tag teams that could gel well together. These guys were excellent together. These guys, Kalisto and Sin Cara, are actually a good tag team. Blake and what was the other one? Blake and Murphy. They're an awesome tag team. I probably highlight of the night of that match was probably the assistant net breaker where they throw. I think it was Sin Cara. I can't remember. I think it was Kalisto. I think it was Kalisto. No, Sin Cara. I think it was Sin Cara, I believe. No, Kalisto. I think it was Kalisto. Correct me if I'm wrong. And they throw him in the air, like 6 feet in the air, and then the other one catches him in a net breaker. I thought that spot was sick. Again, it was very close. He picked up really well towards the end, and Blake and Murphy ended up retaining their titles that they just won off the Lucha Dragons a couple of weeks ago. So for what was the first minute or two, it was kind of slow, but it started picking up. So overall, it was a good tag team match, and they did some cool spots. Next, I believe in my mind was probably match of the night. It was Finn Balor versus Adrian Neville. I legitimately almost cried during this match. This is why I like professional wrestling. Balls finishes, quick paced, kind of almost telling a story in a way. This match is awesome. I really hope WWE does not take these guys and turn it into jokes. I hope these guys stick to their own characters, how they are NXT, and they wrestle. No stupid gimmicks, like dumb gimmicks like a Santino gimmick or something. None of that bullshit. Give these guys their own gimmicks and continue doing this. This is my rant on WWE. This is what WWE is lacking throughout most of the part. They're more on entertainment rather than wrestling. This was a wrestling match. Highlights was the drop kick by Finn Balor to Adrian Neville through the barricade. That was an awesome spot. You had the Bloody Sunday, the diving foot stomp from the top rope onto Adrian Neville's head. Adrian Neville standing up, his head was bent. It looked sick. It was awesome. You had Adrian Neville go on the second rope and do the red arrow, Falcon arrow. Thought it was done there. Finn Balor kicked out. There were so many good spots and it kept you on the edge of your seat. Towards the end, as soon as I saw Adrian Neville kick out of the Bloody Sunday, I believe that's what it's called, Bloody Sunday versus Brainbuster. I believe it's called Bloody Sunday. I figured I was going back in my mind, great, Adrian Neville's going to win. Adrian Neville's going to win. And Adrian Neville's going to win. He counters Finn Balor. He gets on the rope, does the tries to go for a red arrow. Finn Balor stops him. I'm like, okay, there might be something. Wait, no. Adrian Neville's going to go for the thing, and he's going to win. Finn Balor's on the ground, and then jumps. He does the red arrow, and then knee counter by Finn Balor, and then gets him a small package. 1, 2, and then I thought that was it. And no, he kicks out. I'm on the edge of my seat. Fans are going nuts. They're countering and countering and countering. I'm scared. But in the end, Finn Balor ended up hitting the diving foot stomp and ended up winning the match. I was actually on the edge of my seat a few times. This was an awesome match. I would not be surprised if this is probably one match of the year for NXT. This was an awesome match. And the fact is now Finn Balor is moving on to face the NXT champion somewhere in the near future. Hopefully not on NXT, but hopefully on the next NXT actual main show. Who knows? Maybe they'll do it at WrestleMania or something. You don't know, because there are rumors about NXT title match at WrestleMania. Maybe they'll save it for Finn Balor and the NXT champion there, which I'll get onto there tonight. But overall, it was a great match. I do have to say one thing though, was the Pele kick no sell, where Finn Balor did his Pele kick. Adrian Neville did not even sell it. He was just like, oh, and then bam! It was just a super kick right there. He pretty much Brock Lesnar. He no-sold the Pele kick and then just did a super kick right off the bat. It was hilarious, but you know what? It was so quick. It started off slow, but then picked up, and so many false finishes. That's what I liked about Finn Balor. I'm glad he's winning. I'm glad he's facing the NXT champion. And I'm praying to God he's going to be at WrestleMania this year and they face off at Mania. Because if that happens, I'm going to go nuts. Next is Charlotte. Sasha Banks defeated Charlotte, Bayley, and Becky Lynch in a fatal 4-way. This is what WWE is lacking. Again, back in the day when we had the Trish Stratus's, the Leahs, the Jazz, the Molinas, the Beth Phoenixes, even if you want to put Sable in there and Candice Michelle, and like you had all these great women's wrestlers back in the day that could wrestle, and they actually mattered in that division. And now you take a look at it now, and it's just it's the title's not really a title. It's more like a prop. It's like, oh great, she won a prop. It's not like, oh my God, she won the championship. This is great. It's like, no, great. She won a prop. Yeah, great. Why? Because they don't use their women's wrestlers. The only reason they're using their divas on WWE is because it's total divas. And that's really it. The only legit wrestlers in WWE right now that are in the divas division are Paige, AJ Lee, Natalya. I guess if you want to consider Brie and Nikki, kind of. Sorry about that. Oh, shoot. I dropped it. Oh, there it is. Sorry about that, guys. They remote to turn off the camera. I said, they don't know how to use their divas talent that much. At least Paige is getting a title opportunity against Nikki at Fastlane, but we all know what's going to happen. Nikki's going to win, and I think they're going to do a Bella feud at Mania. I believe that's what they're going to go with. It could happen. But with this match in NXT, they built this up. There was a promo package to this match. They did some cool stuff in the match. And it was the first ever Fatal 4-Way on NXT for women, and they proved that they don't need looks just to, be in a wrestling ring. You don't just have the good looks. All four of these women proved that they are wrestlers. Charlotte was awesome. Sasha Banks is good. Bayley's good. Becky Lynch's good. All these women were good. These are not treated as, just as sexy women just get put on the walls and stuff. These aren't just models. These are, not only are these pretty women and they're attractive, but they can wrestle. And that's why I like the Leahs and Trish Stratus and Mickie James. Although they were attractive, they could get done in the ring. They were performers. They were wrestlers. And that's why I miss. And this proved that women wrestling can be taken seriously. But again, like Mitch in the past has said, I'm afraid that they could take these women and then turn into jokes in WWE. Just like they're doing with Natalya at the moment. Just like they're doing with Alicia Fox and Paige and the Bella. WWE really needs to take a look at this show and really think, what are they doing right? Why is their show so successful and why aren't our pay-per-views selling that well? Maybe because you're not booking and properly booking your stars. Maybe that. But like I say, it was a good match, and Sasha Banks ended up winning the match, which I kind of predicted. I wanted Bayley to win, but back in my mind, I knew Sasha Banks was somehow going to win this, and she did. She pinned Charlotte. It was a good match, good pace, and just for a women's match, it was good. One of the better women's matches I've seen. I'd probably say since the last Charlotte and Sasha Banks match at NXT. I think it was NXT Takeover as well. No, Our Evolution. NXT Our Evolution was the last time I think they faced up, and that was an awesome match. Next, we get to the main event: Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. This is the match people have been talking about. This is the match where people were debating, who's gonna win or what's gonna happen. So many things were in our minds. Brandon, I'm gonna say this right now. Brandon, I asked him, Brandon, who you think's gonna win? And he's gonna say Kevin Owens. And I said, I think Sami Zayn is going to retain, whether it's by countout or disqualification or some sort of draw, or Sami Zayn doing like a John Cena thing with Umaga, the Royal Rumble, where he just quickly gets dominated, just rolls him up 1, 2, 3, and then Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn continue the feud there. Something like that. That's what I'm assuming. But what I got for a main event was Kevin Owens being Kevin Owens, beating the crap out of Sami Zayn. 85% of this match was Kevin Owens beating the crap out of Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn did get some offense. Like there was some wrestling involved, but it was mostly just a beatdown. Now some people are gonna say, "Oh, this is so stupid." I was looking forward to a classic match. The way they built it up, they didn't build it up to be a wrestling match. They built it up to be a fight. Kind of like Cena Lesnar, except with that match, Lesnar legitimately dominated that entire match, and all he did were 16 suplexes, a few punches, some knees, and then 2 F5s. That's literally all he did. This match, though, first of all, they made Sami Zayn look good for being super resilient. They had him actually do some more moves than Cena did in his match against Lesnar. They actually gave him a lot more offense. And you completely made Kevin Owens look believable as an NXT, as a future NXT champion. You made him look good. We didn't see a whole lot of agility from Kevin Owens, but again, this was more of a fight rather than a wrestling match. If this was a wrestling match, it would have been different. This was supposed to be built up as a fight, and this was a beatdown, and this was Kevin Steen or Kevin Owens being Kevin Owens. Now, I gotta say right now, I legitimately thought Sami Zayn was gonna retain somehow, and they didn't. Kevin Owens ended up winning the championship, but the way he won the championship was awesome. He hits the power bomb. 1, 2, kick out. Kevin Owens is getting pissed. 1, and then he does another power bomb. And he picks up again another power bomb. Sami Zayn's head is hurt. He's getting concussion. He's getting dizzy. He can't continue the match. The ref's about to call off. He's like, get away from him, Kevin. Get away from Sami. And Kevin Owens just keeps wailing on Sami. And Sami's just not giving up. Powerbomb. He's continuing a powerbomb. 1, 2, and a slow kick out. Kevin Owens is getting pissed off. He's just beating the hell out of Sami Zayn. Referee trying to stop this, but he can't. Kevin Owens is being on him. The doctor's looking at Sami Zayn. Ref just rings the bell. Out of nowhere, the match just stops. Sami Zayn's on the ground. He's all dizzy. I don't know if this was legit or if this was part of a storyline, but Kevin Owens ended up winning the title by KO. The ref just calls off the match, and Kevin Owens wins. And I think that's a smart move. It wasn't like John Cena, like that typical WWE where it's like all dominate and then a finisher 1, 2, 3, and then that's it. This was Kevin Owens doing whatever he can to try to beat Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn kicking out, being resilient, not giving up. But the ref had no choice but to stop the match because he was hurt, and he didn't want to risk Sami Zayn getting hurt even more. So he just said, call it off, just call it off, and Kevin Owens won by KO. And I find that kind of a coincidence because on his shirt it says KO, which is short term for Kevin Owens, but it's also a symbol for knockout, and that's what I liked about it. He knocked out Sami Zayn, and the ref had to stop the match. Thus, Kevin Owens is your new champion. A lot of people are going to be pissed because Sami Zayn is not champion. I'm going to say this right now. Kevin Owens, if I had to pick one guy to beat Sami Zayn for the championship, if I had to pick one guy to end Sami Zayn's short title reign, it would be Kevin Owens. He makes the most sense because they were best friends. He's vicious. And I think this was the fastest WWE title match he's ever had. I mean, that's the thing about Sheamus. When he was in WWE, he won the WWE Championship in, I believe it was in 6 months. Kevin Owens, he won in 2 months. He won his first NXT World Championship in 2 months. He was only in the company for 2 months. He already made a pay-per-view, and he won the championship by knockout, by just destroying Sami Zayn. And I like that. It wasn't the typical, submission or finisher, and then that's it. It was Sami Zayn continued fighting, but he couldn't take it anymore, and the ref stopped the match. And that makes that doesn't make Kevin Owens look good, but it makes Sami Zayn look good because he didn't give up. He never surrendered. The ref just stopped the match. He wanted to stop the match. He didn't want to risk Sami Zayn getting hurt anymore. So that's what I liked about it. They played smartly. And now that means in the next match we'll get Kevin Owens and hopefully Finn Balor. Hopefully, I would like to see at WrestleMania if they do a title match at WrestleMania. Or they could do Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn rematch at WrestleMania. But if they're going to do an NXT title match at WrestleMania, then you got to put... I would like to see either Kevin Owens and Finn Balor or Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. If they put the title on NXT, and they also need to do that. And I can explain another video why that'll be good they did that at Mania. But I don't want to see it on a regular NXT between Balor and Kevin Owens. I want to wait until a major event for that. I want to. I don't want to see it next Wednesday. I want to see it at the next event, next mega event for NXT. Whether it's a pay-per-view or whatever. Like, do it at Fastlane. Like, get the NXT Championship more noticed. Start putting it on pay-per-views. Start mentioning more on WWE and get the fans interested and say, I want to watch this now. And that way you get more subscribers and you get more, feedback. But do that. Start putting the NXT title on pay-per-views. And that way people will want to watch NXT and be like, what's going to happen? And that way they can subscribe to the network and then watch NXT for free. Do that. Trust me, it's smart. But like I said, again, the match was more of a beatdown, but they did some cool stuff. You made both guys look good. Now we get Finn Balor, Kevin Owens in the near future, which is going to be awesome as well. There we go. So overall, we had a decent, bad, good, excellent, good, and I put the main event good too. There's a lot more positives than negatives. I would give this probably about a B+, maybe even an A-. Probably an A- or a B+, around those. So out of that, probably like actually I give it probably about 8.8 out of 10. It was very good. NXT is doing this right. So that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment down below. Tell me what you think about NXT Takeover. Did you agree with some of the results? How would you put it differently? Do you agree with me on some stuff? Do you disagree? Explain your reasons why you agree or disagree. And that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So take care of all my peeps. And I'll have more videos coming up for you. And maybe I'll even do a Fastlane. Maybe I'll do a Fastlane live reactions depending. And if not, then I'll go ahead and I'll do a Fastlane review definitely. So that's pretty much it.